How are you, YouTube land? I hope you're doing well. Us? Well, listen. Today is Saturday, redacted of redacted, and we just had a huge storm earlier, and we lost power, at least at the house, not at the store, even though I only live like 2 miles from the store. We just got power back a little bit ago.
Yeah, like an hour ago.
Yeah. The kids were very annoying to Ash, so I had to get them out of the house while we were waiting for power to come back, because they would not stop asking, when's the power back?
That's me. I'm even playing a DS game right now, but I was like constantly like, I want internet.
When power? Wait, but don't you have like internet on your phone?
Yeah, but using my phone for I'm anti-phone. I'm like an old man. I just don't like using
I get
phones.
it. I only use it because like when I'm like at the store after hours or before hours, it's just I can easily put it in my pocket and just have a YouTube video playing, you know what I mean? So I like listen to somebody do a video essay on like some game I've never heard of.
I guess just because I'm used to having a 55-inch TV 5 feet from my face at all times, but phone screens are way too small, and I have a giant phone. I have like a 6.7-inch smartphone, it's gigantic, but I only like using it like when I'm laying in bed and it's like right next to my face. That's why I've been kind of thinking about, I sort of want one of those like fold-out phones, like a Galaxy Fold, like the horizontal fold ones, but they're so expensive.
What are they roughly?
Like almost $2,000.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I was like, do I want this or to upgrade my 10-year-old PC?
Isn't
My 10-year-old everything.
Isn't even iPhones not 2K?
No,
Like even new iPhones are like what, 12, 15?
Regular iPhones are like, I think 700 or 800.
Oh wow.
The iPhone Pros are 1,000, and the iPhone Pro, the big ones, whatever they're called, are 1,100. The baseline, but I'm
So you know it's bad when you said it's Samsung who does the flip phones?
I guess the most prolific fold phone is the Galaxy Fold, which is Samsung.
Okay. Well, when they mog Apple in price, you know it's not great.
And I just really don't want to buy a used one because those folding phones have like basically plastic screens on the inside, and I don't want to buy like a used one that has like indents and stuff on it.
Are they like not? Well, I guess they're relatively new. Or do they seem like they're going to be as long lasting as phones? Like
they're really not that new anymore. It's like I think the Fold 5 came out.
Oh wow! So yeah,
this year.
Yeah, I don't. I forget if Trevor gave me this phone or if I bought it from him, but
yeah, I always give you.
Yeah. I've had this phone for like 5 years, and Trevor had it for like years before. So this could potentially be a 10-year-old.
It's not that old.
No.
I used to upgrade my phones a lot for whatever reason. I was always like just minorly.
Oh my god!
I was always minorly kind of like annoyed with whatever phone I got, but this phone I've had for like 2-3 years now. So that phone's probably like 5 years old.
It's done me well.
It always feels like it's 10 years old because phone technology,
right?
It's just like you get a phone and it's like outdated in like 5 minutes.
I really enjoy. That's why. Let me say two things. I really enjoy seeing phones go through these, I guess you would call them different renaissances. Like, for the longest time, it was like everyone was obsessed with getting like bigger phones to the point where they were almost like what they call them, phablets, like phones/tablets. And then there was a point where they were like getting obsessed with getting them as small as possible again, kind of like the early 2000s stuff where it's like, look at this iPod Nano, it's so tiny, you know. And I just like seeing that, like, it going from one way to the other, and you get to the point where it's a little too ridiculous. Like, you get to the point where a phone and or a tablet or whatever, I'm sorry. Yeah, a phone is, like, so small that it's almost unusable, and then you get to the other side where a phone's almost too big that it's almost unusable, and they, like, ebb and flow. Have you noticed that, or is that just me?
Yes.
I just think that's hilarious. And then also, one other thing to mention is when it's usually non-gamers, so like a parent or like someone who hasn't played games in like 20 years, they're always like, these video game systems They come out so fast, and I like always try to like, I won't say it in a mean way, but I'll just say like truthfully, like they'll be like, well, the PS4 just came out. I'm like, in like 2013, you know, like listen, I get it, but like video game systems for the most part, especially nowadays, like there's some good mileage out of them. I mean, Madden 25, a game that is coming out next month, is coming out for the PS4. Now, it's just going to be a roster update of Madden 24, but it's coming out on the PS4. Like, that's crazy. That means the PS4 has, like, 12 years of games coming out for it, you know? Blows me away. So, yeah, whenever, like, someone's like,
yeah. Dude, the PS4 is probably going to be, like, you thought the PS2 was crazy, lasting, like, a good, like, 12, 13 years of, like, active support, like... PS4, I wouldn't be surprised if it like got to 15, if not more.
I would have bet money that Madden was not coming out this year on the PS4. I probably said it at some point before on this channel, and I am wrong. And also, the new Call of Duty,
I think that's crazy.
Black Ops 6 is coming out on the PS4.
I read reports that like apparently like current gen players for Call of Duty is like abnormally high. I think like 50% of the player base is. Like,
so they like they physically have to come out with it. For the thing, yeah. Because otherwise, you're just alienated such a high percentage of your player base. But yeah, that always bothers me a little. Now there was a time in the early '90s when like every system was failing. Like I could understand someone being like, I just bought a Sega Genesis and now a CD's out, and then you buy a Sega CD. I just bought a Sega CD, now the 32X is out, and then the Saturn, and then the Dreamcast. Those systems did not have long shelf lives, but like nowadays, like I've definitely heard parents being like, what, there's a Switch 2 coming out next year? The Switch just came out. I'm like, yeah, in 2017. Like, it's been 8 years.
By the way, you know how you're like talking about how like, oh, it sucks that all these we have so many like old like current gen consoles. You know how bad it's gonna be when the Switch 2 comes out?
Oh my god. We probably have already, and the Switch 2 does not, we don't know what it is. We don't know if it's called the Switch 2. We don't know when it's coming out. We don't know anything about it. And we probably have like 30 Switches right now in the store. Minimum, probably more. So like, it's gonna be insanity. I mean, Switch is gonna end up outselling the PS2, right? So like...
Probably, unless they like immediately stop production.
Yeah.
I think the Switch is at like 144 million right now, as of beginning of August. And I don't think the Switch is going to have a very strong sales year this year. They just don't really have that much.
No. Well, plus with all the used ones that are out there, you know, that's the big trouble. Granted, there's still people there's still some people that with systems are like, I gotta go new. But with so many used ones out there, so many people selling them, I don't know. I just feel like you can find a used one fairly, you know, decent price and everything.
Yeah. But it's also like it's only, you know, 12 million away, and the Switch 2 isn't going to come out like January.
No.
I don't know when it's going to come
There's
out.
no way. But at this point, the longer we go into the year with no information, I guessed originally that it was going to be March of next year, but now I'm getting more to the point I don't think that they would come out... I'm sorry. Long day. It's either going to be February or March, or October or November. There's no way they come out with a new system in, like, July. It's not happening. It's just not.
To play the other side, Nintendo, like, the last, like, 7 years or so has really, like, not been announcing things, like, early at all. In fact... This is sort of a special case because, like, they didn't want to make Wii U owners feel like they, like, were really screwed over because they were announcing a successor, like, only 4 years after the Wii U came out. But they didn't announce the Switch until October, and it came out in March next year.
No, you're absolutely right on that.
So we're doing the other Turk fights. This is the only time we fight Sung, and I feel as if that we should have fought him more in this game. Considering that we fought Rude like 3 times. Also, it's really nice that when they divided the team, they gave me Yuffie and Aerith together.
You saw the flags outside, didn't you? The promised land belongs to Shinra now. Sorry, Ancient. You snooze, you lose.
I thought there were 6.
Oh dear, did you 3 get lost?
3 is still greater than 2, you know.
And? So what if it is? Between me and
Do you think the guy who did the voice of like Red 13 deep voice was like mad that suddenly he just stopped having lines halfway through the game? Because once you reach Cosmo Canyon, almost every line he has is as.
Did they actually do 2 voice actors?
Oh, I don't know. I would assume that'd be a pretty good voice actor if you could do both.
She's a lost cause. I'm here for you guys.
Knife and swing.
Oh, Kino music.
Yeah, this music rules. Boys and girls, you are not, if you're following along and you're not familiar with how this game like generally ends, you're just not prepared. I'm just telling you right now, you're not prepared. It's not going to be this sit down, unfortunately, because you know.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if we're gonna be. There's so many cutscenes.
There's so many.
I forgot how many cutscenes there are. There are probably gonna be 2 more scenes after this, unfortunately.
And that's fine, but just get ready for it. Just get ready for it.
I was getting to Demon Gate, and I was like, oh yeah, we have to do this stupid, like, misery quest thing. I was like, this sucks.
Wow. Is that just... So I'm finally going through hard mode. Is just the fact, like, is that just the Genji glove, or the Genji armor just being so awesome?
The Genji glove lets you do more than 999. And yeah, if you do like, Elena is weak to thunder, and even though I was doing magnify, like she was probably taking like 20 or 30k every time that Eris did it. And Sung is weak to ice, so every time Red 13 did that, he was also doing basically 10k.
I learned it's magnify, MP absorb, and potentially HP absorb if you want to do that too.
I always do HP absorb just so they're always healthy.
Yeah.
When you're controlling Yuffie, because of the way that the game's AI works, they always target Yuffie, but generally sometimes like they'll go after the other guys. But the reason why the Brumal form ATB ward spam is so god tier in this game is that the AI is going after Yuffie, but Yuffie's almost entirely invulnerable except for the couple. Yuffie's invulnerable except for like the couple frames between each Brumal form spam. And at the same time, you can shoulder command your 2 teammates doing magic. It is just so god tier.
So what's more glass cannon, this hard mode or the Kingdom Hearts 2, whatever they call it, hard mode or whatever? Remember when you did that one and like the fights were over in like 3 seconds?
Critical mode in Kingdom Hearts 2 is definitely more glass cannon, especially since I mean you have teammates, but their lives don't matter.
Oh yeah, that's true. Wonder if they're honest to goodness working on the new Kingdom Hearts.
They are. It's just who knows what's gonna be out.
Yeah. Since 3 was like what, 2018, 19 or something like that?
I think it was January 2019.
Okay. What new Disney products can they put? Like what has Disney came out in the last 5 years that would be like, oh, we gotta have this in the game? Like for 3, they were like add Frozen. They have Frozen in KH3, right?
Yes, and it's the worst world ever.
That's based. Wait, is it worse than Little Mermaid and KH1 and 2?
The reason why the Frozen world is like the worst world ever made is that there was probably some weird mandate from Disney where it was like Sora, Donald, and Goofy can't really interact with the world of Frozen, so there's a really weird like duality to that world where they'll just recreate movie moments. Like, you have the Elsa... I never watched Frozen, so I don't know any of the songs. But you have Elsa doing her, like, lonely song. where she talks about her heart of ice or whatever.
Let It Go.
Let It Go, yeah. And Sora, Donald, and Goofy are literally on the sidelines being like, whoa, look at that, that's so cool, you go, Elsa. And Elsa is just like by herself making her ice palace, and there's just no interaction at all. It feels like such a pointless like tourist ride. Like imagine if there was like a Frozen like Disney ride.
Yeah.
And you were just like on it.
I mean, if I wanted to watch the movie, I'd watch the movie.
That's what it felt like. It felt so pointless.
Interesting. But yeah, what would they? What I guess is it? They include Pixar, right? Like Toy Story's in it.
Yeah, Toy Story's in Kingdom Hearts.
Have they done Inside Out?
No.
So they could do Inside Out.
They definitely could do Inside Out. They could do something stupid. They could do a lot of Pixar stuff.
They could do Encanto.
They could do Cars. They never.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Yo, Sora as a car. Let's go, dude. I can see it in my head already. Goofy as a car, but he has the big buck teeth and the nose. I can see it right now. I can imagine it. Make it happen, Captain.
And they already did like Lion King, where they transform into lions. That's like
Cage 1 or 2,
that's
right?
Cage 2. So transferring to cars and having like a car moveset isn't really that outlandish.
No. Zong. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you do all these challenges or whatever. This whole chapter's a blur because there's just so much.
There's so many cutscenes.
Just tell me.
Dude, I beat. I'm going. Like I said, I'm going through hard mode. I beat chapter 2, which is the calm to the end of the.
Oh, you beat
Midgar Zalem. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Finally. Yeah. That's why I was so frustrated, because I beat the Zalem, and then I went to go fight those mandrakes or whatever, and got wrecked to the max. And I'm like, I guess I'll just watch a video of exactly how to set stuff up. I wanted to do it myself.
Is that the one near the flower field?
Yeah, where there's like 20 of them.
I remember that being abnormally hard.
Well,
so.
they immediately shoot a million shots at you, so much so that like I had an August spell ready with Magnify and is Magnify all? I always forget. Yeah, with Magnify and the thing to make it stronger, and it killed like 5 or 6 of them, but not all of them, and then I immediately died.
Yeah.
That was before I left for work this morning, so I only tried it like 3 or 4 times, but I was like, what is this crap? But anyway,
I don't remember any other side quests being like that weirdly hard.
Okay,
good. It almost feels like an oversight. I don't know.
Yeah, well, like, and there's like literally, I don't know if it's the same way in the original, but there's like 20 of them, and they just constantly shoot. It's almost like the 1,000 Needles by Cactars. It's just constant. Anyway, so I did chapter 2 this morning, literally all this morning before work, and with skipping cutscenes, it was like 15 minutes, all of chapter 2.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, this is the best. You literally just do a couple dumb things in Calm, go to the Chocobo Ranch, catch a Chocobo, and then go fight the Midgar Zalem. Like, that is it. And then when I mean, obviously when I first played it, I did like a bunch of crap, and I probably spent like days on chapter 2. It's so crazy when you skip that stuff. But I'm still going.
I know that our LP is like, I think this is part 35 now, and most parts are about 30 minutes long. So even though like we're on chapter 13, we watch every single cutscene, we're still under like 20 hours of playtime. But I bet like more than half of that time is just watching cutscenes.
Oh, I could absolutely see that. Now I'm gonna get Disney to put Cars into Kingdom Hearts. Now that I heard it, it needs to be.
It'd be a cooler one, better than I guess they could do, because they're chilling Star Wars so much and putting it into everything. I guess they could do a Star Wars world.
Have they not?
No.
Wow.
I'll wait out here.
Yeah, that would be great when
they could do some sort of Marvel world.
When Star Wars is at its absolute lowest, they're like, hey, it's at the Kingdom Hearts. And they would make people so mad, people would be like, oh, just make it like the original trilogy or whatever, right?
It'd be specifically like
it's
episode 8.
It would absolutely be Rey. Like, it would 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, I'm Rey Skywalker. And everyone would be like, this is really cool. You know they're making another Rey movie? Like,
oh, boy.
People were just really... They were like, oh my god. And that's nothing against the person who plays Rey. I feel bad for her. Despite her being like a literal multi-millionaire. I feel bad for her because Star Wars fans really suck. But, like...
Yeah, but the thing is
she
that...
did sign on. She did sign on again. She could have said no, but she said yes.
It's a lot of money.
Because I'm sure it's a lot of money.
And also, I don't think she's really getting any other roles.
She's pretty much gone the... You know Daniel Radcliffe, a.k.a. Harry Potter? She's gone, like, the Daniel Radcliffe mode where, like, after Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe was like, I literally have enough money for my entire life, so I'm only gonna do indie movies that I think are fun. And that's pretty much what she's been doing.
The only other thing that I know that she was in, she did some sort of, like, a young adult novel, like, movie adaptation. I forget what it's called. Apparently it was awful.
She did a movie where she, it's like, she plays a homely girl in like, an office who's, like, very lonely. Like a femcel kind of thing. And obviously it's, like, very unbelievable because she's a very, like, pretty girl. And then she's like, I'm playing this character where nobody wants me. And like, literally everyone on the internet just made it into, like, the I can save her thing. Like, they would post a picture of her being, like, awkward, but, like, obviously good looking, and everyone's like, I can save her. Which, obviously, there's a lot worse for that.
She's pretty until she smiles, and then her teeth are the size of the universe.
That is true. I just like it. I mean, it's obviously like all guys, if not 95% guys, but like when a pretty girl does something like dumb or bad, or like there's a mugshot of a girl and she's good looking, and it's like, what's she taking in for? And it's like, oh, battery on boyfriend, and everyone's like, I can save her. And I'm like, no! No, it's like, stalking, beating up guy, waiting in his car and stabbing him. I can save her.
Do you ever see that Yu-Gi-Oh screenshot of Yugi going? He's pounding the ground. He said, "It should have been me."
Yeah,
that's my favorite one.
I love it, and you know that like. I want to say 50%, but I'm probably being too optimistic here. 50% of people are saying it jokingly, and 50% are like unironically saying, I could say it. Yeah. No, I'm going to be honest. It's more like 75-25. Like 75 unironically saying that and 25% joking. I mean, that's the internet for you, you know?
Did you know that Hojo's evil?
Nope. Wait, did we saw... What's that guy's name? What's the motorcycle guy's name? Roche?
Roche, yeah.
Did we see him again?
We saw him like for 5 seconds at the very beginning of this temple. Like you get in the temple and he's like there and he walks past and then nothing happens.
He's gonna be the final boss, dude. Not in this game, in the next game.
I mean, you already beat the game, so the last time we see him is that he's on the helicopter with Hojo and Rufus. I don't know why he's on the VIP helicopter. It's pretty stupid.
It actually makes no sense. Because they treat all these guys as literal cannon fodder and they don't give a crap. But then Roche, for some reason, they're like, oh man, we gotta have him next.
And
to
Hojo
us.
has done like literally dozens of Sephiroth clones. Like they literally number them on the arms. There's dozens, if not hundreds of them. So it's just another Sephiroth clone.
Did they not? What was I gonna say? Did they explain why he let himself be injected just because he lost a cloud?
That's, I guess, what they were going for. But we've talked about this. But at the end of Junon, when Cloud beats Roche, like he like sees him off with a smile. There's no like jealousy or anything or like feeling inferiority. He's just like, you bested me. Be off with you. It's like,
oh, that's what they want you to think. Yo, did you notice that thing that I texted the group the other day? So I said this to Trev. I don't know if everyone and their mom noticed this, but when you're playing through Chapter 1 and you're quote-unquote Cloud...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I noticed that. Like,
you noticed that?
Time, yeah.
It's so cool, because when you go to Cloud's house, you hear one of the Shinra grunts on the ground going, Ma, but they don't say Mom. They're like, Ma. And you're like, hey, that's where Cloud was! He was the grunt on there.
Kino.
I thought that was keen. Upon rewatching that, that part's
Yeah.
rewatching.
I didn't notice it like the very first time I saw it, but
That's
it's
cool.
still pretty cool.
I was playing it when Ferris was in the room, and he was making fun of the fact that like Cloud was walking so slow, and then he was laughing at the part where you have to like hold L2 for him to go and move like 1 foot. He was like, "What is this?" I was like, "Don't worry about it."
I hope Gen Alpha, like when they grow up, they're just like, "Hey, game devs, stop doing this annoying garbage."
It only works in very specific situations. Both of us in this room don't really like MGS4. But the ending when you're crawling through the microwave room with old Snake and you're going super slow, that makes perfect sense. It's the end of the game. Snake's been BTFO'd 1,000 times.
You really think he's just gonna die?
Yes, it makes it makes sense. But with this, in this situation, it's a freaking flashback, and Cloud's telling the story, so Cloud doesn't die, right? So it's like I wonder what's gonna happen. You know what happens to him? He's telling the story. You know,
They just wanted me to do that with the Red 13 part. If you do the commands, it makes it go slower. It's literally a punishment for doing it because you can't escape.
Right.
That's why I didn't do it at all. Grab that katana, the Mazamune.
That was a question the other day in video game trivia. We of course got it right. That was one of the few questions that me, Ben, and Finch all knew. We all bring our own things to it.
Based.
Every time there's a Dark Souls question, I'm like, Finch. Every time there's like a PC game related question, I'm like, Ben.
Fine. Not scary at all.
We did lose by 2 points, which I was bummed at. But one of the bonus questions, which was 5 points, was a Fallout question, and apparently everyone got it. I know you're not like into Fallout, but do you know off the top of your head what real life famous celebrity first said the line "War has changed"? I think is the famous Fallout quote, or "War never changed" or something like that. In
I feel like it's on the top of my head, but
in the original Fallout game, I didn't realize that was like literally everybody got it. Like even teams that were doing bad got it. Anyway, it's Ron Perlman. AKA,
I know they got
AKA Hellboy.
I definitely would never have gotten that. I know they got some sort of celebrity voice actor for Fallout 3, I think.
Yeah, but we're talking about Fallout 1, so I was like, oh, no one's gonna get this because it's Fallout 1.
That is weird.
But like everyone got it. We guessed Patrick Stewart because Fallout 1 came out in 1997, and Patrick Stewart was big in 1997, but obviously we did not get that. So if we would just want to know freaking Ron Perlman, I told Ben on the drive up, I was like, I am really worried about real life celebrity nonsense because I don't know it. You know, if they're like, what famous celebrity was in a commercial for Mario 64? I'd be like, I don't know. You know, get your real life people out of my vidya.
Yeah, I would literally get all of that wrong.
I was like, if they do a celebrity one, I hope it's just Mads Mikkelsen. Like, in Death Stranding, Mads Mikkelsen.
I can't even think of what the Walking Dead actor's name is.
Oh my god, I almost said Daryl Dixon. Crap. Hold on.
Spencer doesn't know either.
No. Norman Reedus.
Yeah,
oh my god. Sorry, my brain was exploding.
Like, the second that you say it, like, I am so bad at remembering names. If anyone comes in the store and I don't remember your name, I'm sorry. My brain is defective. But especially for actors, I don't remember anyone's name. Unless, like, when Spencer said it, like, the instant he said it, I was like, oh, it's Norman Reedus. But I just will never be able to, like,
I mean, it's not something you think about every day.
But it's just something I can't, like, access on my own. Unless it's, like, something really specific.